Jai friends, I'm Major Goravari and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. It's important. Don't let the Khalistanis assume that just because they are in a foreign country, okay, just because they are in UK or in Canada, they'll be saved. There is no hiding. Citizens of Afghanistan and Iraq have been displaced. Hundreds of thousands are dead. Kids have lost their fathers. Parents have lost their children. They have lost their parents. Jai friends, I'm Major Goravari and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Now, there is some breaking news. You remember how the Khalistanis had attacked our High Commission in the UK? And I had said, even then, if you look at my old videos, you'll find out that I had said very categorically that you must take out CCTV footage and go after these guys. It's important. Don't let the Khalistanis assume that just because they are in a foreign country, okay, just because they are in UK or in Canada, they'll be saved. There is no hiding. There is absolutely no hiding for any Khalistani anywhere on earth, right? And we will go after them. This is exactly what happened. And I said it 1.5, 2 months back when this whole Amritpal thing was blowing up. Now, here is the news. Broadening its probe into attempts to vandalize the Indian Commission premises in London, the National Investigation Agency on Monday released 5 videos and sought the help of general public in identifying individuals involved in the violent protest there in March this year. So, these CCTV cameras, and this is public CCTV cameras, this is the footage from the High Commission. People's videos have been taken, and these people who have attacked, our High Commission now, there will be various cases in UK. So, those who are Indian citizens, Khalistanis, those who are Indian citizens and who have gone abroad and done this, obviously, they'll be deported back to India, where they'll be facing a warm reception, right? And I just want the UP police to take them from Delhi to Punjab or wherever they are going. I just want the UP police to do it. Can I request the UP police to please send in their special vehicles, to do this? I'll be eternally grateful now. The issue here is that, now here are a few points that they've listed down. The nearly 2-hour-long footage from CCTVs was posted by the NIA on its website, and the link was shared on its official Twitter handle while urging people to provide any information regarding persons seen in the video to the agency. The agency also provided a WhatsApp number. I would request the editor to share the WhatsApp number on the screen. This is 729-000-9373 for conveying the information. This comes after a team of NIA visited London to get details of the case. Besides interacting with officials of Scotland Yard, officials in the know of developments said the agency took over the probe from Special Cell of Delhi Police, which had registered a case under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act and Prevention of Damage to Public Property Act, as it involves illegal activities carried out by certain people holding Indian nationality abroad. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, the moral of the story is this, that now, since the NIA has taken over the probe, now, there are 2-3 things that I would recommend. I don't know. I have not been to this website yet, and I'll do my due diligence. But we must come up with suitable rewards in UK, right? Say that go here, identify the person, and if you identify the person properly, you get £10,000. Simple. See, India has a lot of money, and this is the time to start throwing around that money, splashing that money. For every Khalistani identified, £10,000, it doesn't matter if there are 1,000 people, 100 people, whatever. Then find out who they are. If they have Indian nationality, bring them back and sort them out. And if they have British nationality, make sure that the guy spends time in jail. His public record is trashed. He never gets a loan. He can never pick up a job. He can never drive a taxi. He can never work in a 7-Eleven. He is gone. There are no trucks for him to drive. Nothing. He's out. He's simply out. And that is what we need to do. And that is what we are doing. Because this CCTV coverage is from the UK. We are in touch with the Scotland Yard according to this news article. The NIA went all the way to London. They're in touch with Scotland Yard and now we're doing this the legal way. And I'm telling you, these Khalistanis are cowards. They can bring down an airplane with innocent passengers. That is all that they are capable of. They can't put up a fight. They're the first people to surrender. You remember this guy, Amritpal Singh, saying, "Puls aa gayi, puls aa gayi." The fear on his face. He disappeared and the coward was hiding. And today, have you heard of any Khalistanis protesting? Have you seen any protests by any Khalistanis? Where is Amritpal Singh? We want to know, where is Amritpal Singh? Free Amrit. No, they have ditched Amritpal Singh. And this fool of a man, Amritpal Singh, actually thought that he was Bhindranwale, which isn't much to aspire for anyway, because Bhindranwale was a crook. Now, the moral of the story here is, ladies and gentlemen, that what are the Khalistanis doing and what can they do? Because now the government of India has made up its mind. We are going to track down each and every single Khalistani and bring him to book. He will be brought to justice, every single Khalistani, and let's see. And now here is my message for Bollywood. The Hindi film industry and our music industry. Big brands, big brands, music brands. I don't want to name brands, but all the big brands in India. Willy-nilly, directly, indirectly, knowingly, unknowingly, you are supporting Khalistanis. You are supporting people who are damaging India. And I want you to know this. The way you're damaging India is this. You are giving a platform to these Khalistani singers. People like, Jazzy B. And people like that Hardcore, that lady. I think Hardcore is her screen name or whatever. Her professional name, so to say. You're giving a platform to these people. You allow these people to sing in your films. You give them money. And these people take that money, right? After having taken that money, they give the money to elements who work against India. I would like to request the Hindi film industry, or Bollywood as it's colloquially known, and the music industry in India, which is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Please do not give money to people who damage your own country. Tomorrow, when the NIA comes to know of this, and I'm telling you this frankly on your face, you may like it or not, right? But take this as a piece of friendly advice, because tomorrow when these guys are investigated, they will be, the NIA is going to ask you very difficult questions. I'm talking about the National Investigation Agency. You will be hauled up in court and you will be asked uncomfortable questions. It's a small matter. It's a small matter of some Khalistani doing something stupid. And since they are stupid, these Khalistanis, they will do something stupid one day. And it will probably be an act of terror. And the day that act of terror happens, they will come to know his financial details and they'll know who has given them money. And I'm telling you, if you come to know, or if the NIA comes to know that it is one of these so-called singers and performers who are supporting them, if there is a tweet in their support, it does not have to be a money trail. If there is a tweet in their support for these Khalistanis, if there is a message on stage, if there is a video, the NIA will find it out. And then the NIA will ask you, when you know that these people are working against India, these people are terrorists, why the hell are you giving them business? And at that time, you will find it very, very difficult. I'm telling you, my friends, I'm requesting all my friends in Bollywood, I'm requesting all the music film industry people, stop giving business to Khalistanis. A, it is legally, morally and ethically wrong, right? Number two, it's going to land you in a soup. Consider this a friendly piece of advice. You're welcome to reject it, but it's going to land you in a soup, because these Khalistanis will do something stupid one day. And I hope they do. And I hope they do something stupid. And then the government is absolutely primed. They are going to go after all their supporters. They're going to go after the Khalistanis, hammer and tongs. And there'll be no place to hide. So please don't do this. Please don't do this. Anybody who is remotely Khalistani, don't give him platform. You think just because he can't come into India because there are some restrictions? What we will do is, let's record in Dubai. Let's record in London. Don't try these stunts. Because when the NIA comes knocking, what do you plan to do? Will you run away to London or Dubai? You'll not be able to do that, because your business is here, your investments are here in India. Don't do these things. Don't support these terrorists. So, ladies and gentlemen, another news, the Pakistani Minister of Petroleum, Pakistan has a Minister of Petroleum. He has admitted very honestly that we paid the Russians in Chinese money. Which I knew, because the Russians are not stupid. The Russians will never accept Pakistani money. Even Pakistanis don't accept Pakistani money. So why would the Russians accept Pakistani money? But here's the thing, Here's the thing. At what rate did they take Chinese money from the Chinese? Will the Pakistani Minister of Petroleum or the Pakistani finance minister, Ishaq Dar, actually share this with the people of Pakistan? That, well, we did not give them dollars, we did not give them US dollars, but we gave them Chinese currency. But Chinese money is not free. Nothing is free as far as China is concerned. Nothing's free in this world. At what rate did the Chinese give you money? At what rate did the Chinese say that, yeah, well, okay, here's some cash, give it to the Russians, but when you give it to us back, you're going to give it back plus this much percentage of interest. Can any Pakistani share this? And also, how is it going to positively help the Pakistanis now that you've got Russian oil? Do you have the capability to refine this oil? Is this a one-time deal with Russia? Or is this Russian oil going to come continuously and consistently? Is this because of the elections that you want to show the world that Imran Khan only spoke about Russian oil, but we are the guys who actually did it? Are you going to pass down the benefit? At what rate did you get this oil? Because all along, the reason why you wanted this oil, I'm talking to the Pakistanis here, the reason why you wanted this oil was one simple reason. You wanted it because the Indians got it. Otherwise, there was no logical reason for you to want anything at all. You wanted it because the Indians had it, and you want everything that the Indians have. But the Indians have money, and Indian currency is accepted by the Russians, and Russian currency is accepted by the Indians. Your own currency is worthless. Your own currency is worse than toilet paper. So what you essentially did was you begged China for money and you gave the money to Russia. Then you took the oil from Russia. Now, where are you going to send that oil? What are you going to do with that oil? Friends, there is news from Sweden, and this research institute from Sweden makes a startling claim, and it says that India is focusing on long-range weapons capable of reaching targets across China. And this is SIPRI. SIPRI is Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, and it says that this strategic shift is driven by escalating tensions and perceived threats from neighbors China and Pakistan. So what they're saying is that India is developing more and more nuclear weapons, and India is also developing carriers, right? So missiles that can actually carry the warhead. So you've got to have a platform that carries the nuclear warhead. How does it go from here to China, right? So India is building missiles with longer and longer ranges. This is what this institute is saying. Now, first of all, I'd like to correct the institute a little bit. India does not seek long-range missiles for Pakistan. Let's be honest. If you look at the map of Pakistan, right? If you look at the map from Pakistan, India is towards the east, Pakistan towards the west, and some territories towards the north and northwest, right? Essentially, Gilgit-Baltistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. POK is the area that the Pakistanis call Azad Jammu and Kashmir, which is nonsense, of course, but yeah, POK. So, what does India seek? If India wants to hit a place in Pakistan, right? What is the width of Pakistan? 400 kilometers, 500 kilometers, 6, 7, 8, 9. What else? Pakistan is, it looks like a sausage. I am sorry if the Pakistanis are offended because the sausage is essentially pork. You have chicken sausage also, but sausage is essentially pork. So I'm sorry if you're offended, but Pakistan is a sausage. That's what it is. And India does not need the Agni missile to hit targets in Pakistan. It's not required at all. This long-range missiles are not for Pakistan. They are for A, China, B, the Indian Ocean region, Asia Pacific, and such places where India wants to influence or say that, okay, we can reach here in case of a crisis. That is why India is building these weapons, these long-range missiles, not for Pakistan. Pakistan, we can sort out with the Prithvi. There is nothing about Pakistan that, Pakistan is a very, very small country. It's geographically very small. And especially the positioning of Pakistan, that you don't have to go lengthwise, And Prithvi missiles are, they can be mounted on trucks, big Tatra trucks. You can mount a Prithvi missile and shoot it from anywhere. So we can reach any place in Pakistan. We don't need to, we don't need thousands of kilometers of range to get to Pakistan. So I disagree with this report partially, but otherwise, yes, because of China, because of China's aggression along the line of actual control, India will prepare itself. And we have to tell the Chinese that, listen, if you try anything funny, we can come after you. And that will put the fear of Mao Zedong into the Chinese. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this video. And now we come to the most interesting part, which are the questions and answers. So hold your horses. So now coming to the question answers bit, I would request for more questions, especially in the Chanakya Dialogues English, because the more questions I have, the more interactive it can get. So my request is, please send in more and more questions. I'll select 4 and I promise to answer 4 questions every single day. So I'll just take 2 questions today because I could find only 2. There were 6, 7, but I only found 2 appropriate. So here goes. So why does India not take Canada on at the UN, charge them with supporting terrorism? Actually, Shrikant Iyengar, hello Shrikant Iyengar, I don't think Canada is supporting terrorism. I think this has got more to do with their internal politics. Entire villages of Punjab have shifted to Canada. Entire villages have gone there, right? And they have, unfortunately, these Khalistanis, because of their propaganda and because of their Pakistani fathers, what they have done is they have tried and infected the mind of the people who are there. And in some places, some boroughs, some locations, they form a vote bank. And this is Canada's problem. You see, it's not that Canada wants to support terrorism, but I want the Canadians to know that there were Canadian citizens who died in that Kanishka air crash, right? If you've forgotten, God bless Canada. But it was the Khalistanis who killed Canadian citizens. And if you still think that celebration of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi's assassination is all right, then God help your country, because you're breeding terrorists on home soil. Tomorrow, if there is a surprise, don't say that we didn't know where this was coming, because you're breeding terrorists. You're giving space to the Khalistanis. All these Khalistanis who went from India, and I want to tell this to the Canadians, I want to tell this to the Canadian government. These Khalistanis, they were not loyal to their home country. Do you think they're going to be loyal to Canada? They stabbed their own country in the back. They will stab you in the back, because once a traitor, always a traitor. These Khalistanis, essentially, I don't want to glorify them by calling them militants or something like that, right? They're basically traitors. Once a rat, always a rat. Yesterday, they betrayed India. Today, they will betray Canada. Watch my words. One day, you'll get a surprise. And that day, you'll be caught totally unawares. The next question I have, actually, it's not a question. It's more of a comment from Jagannathan Sundarajan. Jagannathan ji, namaskar. I'm sure Jaishankar would have already thought of getting tough on granting Indian visa to Canadian citizens, even if they are of Indian origin. Can OCI even temporarily be suspended for Canadian citizens? World respects only tough actions. Absolutely, I agree with you, Mr. Jagannathan. I absolutely agree, and this is what we must do. Suspend OCI, suspend everything. Don't allow them to come to India. Any Khalistani who has written anything against India, forget about freedom of speech. All this is absolute bunkum, because they have carried out terrorist acts in India. All right? What does America do? What does America do? America talks about freedom of speech. Canada talks about freedom of speech, right? Today, Justin Trudeau says, oh, my heart is bleeding, The European nations, they say, oh, our heart is bleeding for freedom of speech. But they were equally guilty when they picked up Muslims and they sent them to Guantanamo Bay. And many, many, many of those Muslims were innocent. The latest files are coming out now. Many of them were innocent. Parvez Musharraf himself claims in his book In the Line of Fire that he sold 4,000 Pakistanis. Not all 4,000 were terrorists. He just picked up people from the road and sold them for money. Muslims selling Muslims to America for money. This has happened. So many innocent people. And Canada is equally guilty. Right? They send their troops to Iraq. They're equally guilty. What had Iraq, or what did Saddam Hussein have to do with? I'm not saying Saddam Hussein was a great guy. Right? He was pure evil. Right? But what did Saddam Hussein have to do with 9/11? I have not figured out yet. What had Iraq to do with 9/11? What had Afghanistan to do with 9/11? Nothing. They just destroyed 2 populations. And Canada was equally guilty. And so was the UK. Because they also sent their troops to Afghanistan. They also sent their troops to Iraq. And these are the countries that preach freedom of expression. And these are the countries that have blood on their hands. Millions of citizens of Afghanistan and Iraq have been displaced. Hundreds of thousands are dead. Kids have lost their fathers. Parents have lost their children. They have lost their parents. There are kids with severed limbs who will never be able to walk again or, write with their hands. entire generations have been destroyed just because the white guys wanted some action somewhere where, they thought that they could get away with. And so they never have all these torture chambers that they have, in which Canada is an equally guilty party. They never have it on their home soil because they want to keep their house. There are some people who keep their house very clean but throw muck outside on the road. These guys are like that. So they'll keep Canada absolutely clean. Freedom of speech, right? Liberty to say whatever you want. Freedom of expression. Canada. Oh, what a beautiful country. Look at the infrastructure. Look at the facilities that the Canadians get, everything. But ask Canadian soldiers, were you involved in war crimes in Iraq and Afghanistan? Yes or no? A simple yes or no. And then you will realize what these Western countries, who say that we uphold human rights, these countries that say that we uphold human values, uphold freedom of speech, what do they do in other countries? They kill innocent people. They bomb wedding parties. They put Hellfire missiles into apartment buildings. That is what they do. They kill hundreds and thousands of innocent people and then preach to us about freedom of speech and expression. This is the dual face of the West. You like it or not, but here it is. So ladies and gentlemen, with that I come to the end of this video. If you like this video, press like, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata Ki Jai.